I still remember back in middle school, my friend and I would sit in front of a computer screen and play around with Google Translate, having a line translated into Chinese, German, French, before translating it back into English. And it would always produce something that's hilariously different from the inputs. Honestly, I'm not sure if that's still a thing nowadays, given how much Google Translate had improved. But one thing for certain is, it's much better at outputting translation that's more human and less robotic. So what changed? Hi, this is Sijie from Naturalness, and today let's dive into understanding the key differences between neural machine translation, NMT, and large language models, LLM. Especially in the context of translation, their individual pros and cons, and how businesses are adopting them in various contexts. NMT, or neural machine translation, is like a specialist. It is designed specifically for translation. If we were to make an analogy between artificial intelligence and biological intelligence, neural machine translation is like a species with a smaller brain. And because of this limitation, it's only capable of performing a very narrow task of translation to a reasonable degree of competency. The irony of the situation is that translation is not a narrow task though, as it requires comprehension of languages and by proxy, comprehension of the world. Now, LLM came with a very different approach in mind. It is built with more scale, it is fed with more data, and consequently, it has more brain capacity and more attention span, and a better comprehension of our world. In comparison to NMT, LLM is more like a generalist, and translation capability of an LLM is only a byproduct of its setup. Given the difference in setup, it is a natural question to ask whether NMT or LLM performs better in translation. We get these a lot from our clients. To me, the question isn't simple, because they're each good in their own respect. And because of NMT's setup as a specialist, it is more precise for industry-specific translation. And precise in the sense of better accuracy in glossary, industry-specific writing style, consistency through context, and stability. So you don't get surprised by two different translations with the same source input. NMT is also much cheaper in training, and it takes way less time. With good data, you're almost guaranteed results. Despite NMT being the more traditional approach to AI translation, there's still a lot of positives. In comparison, LLM's fluidity in translation and its more human-like output seems like its only advantage. This advantage might just trump all the other points NMT has to offer, almost. It is less precise, more costly to train or deploy, and training takes ages, but in many cases, especially those closer to our day-to-day, LLM objectively outputs better translation. It also has the extensibility to do many other tasks outside of translation. So it seems like if you have the time, the infrastructure, the budget, LLM is the clear winner, but not quite. For day-to-day context, marketing, or corporate communications, LLM wins because the translation is more natural. But for regulatory submission, or for patent application, for technical documentation, and various other contexts where precision is more important than style, NMT is still adopted in a significant way. And in fact, by no means are the two technologies mutually exclusive. We see a significant number of businesses investing in a hybrid model, combining NMT and LLM. The NMT serves as the frame or the skeleton to restrict the LLM from hallucinating, and the LLM serves as the editor or the flash to improve on its fluency and style. At Innovations, we have seen this combined approach in various regulated, corporate, and marketing contexts. And we have helped a significant number of clients implement this setup within their respective fields. If you have a requirement as such for implementing customized AI for your business, we'd love to hear your thoughts around the challenges you might have with quality, data security, training, and implementation. And as always, if you have any questions about AI or localization, feel free to reach out. Thank you for tuning in. This is Sijie from Innovations, and I'll see you in the next episode.